Make sure y'all stay safe, be healthy, always wash your hands, always be clean. You need to go and subscribe to Mama Productions YouTube channel. Like and subscribe to this video.
John Cena, of the most iconic wrestling figure. You can argue and say that he impacted WWE from the moment where he shouted to Kurt Angle that he had ruthless aggression. John Cena would later play a prominent role on SmackDown as the Doctor of Thugonomics. This character consisted of John Cena rapping and spitting bars on the entire SmackDown roster. The gimmick was a hit, and John Cena was building a pretty nice fan base for himself in the beginning stages of his career. This even led to him winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21 against JBL. And that's when Vince McMahon began to love John Cena. He was a fan of his character, he was a fan of his in-ring work, he was a fan of his build, and he was a fan of how dedicated John Cena was to the company. McMahon strapped John Cena to a rocket and pushed him to the moon. He brought Cena over to Monday Night Raw, which was clearly labeled as the flagship show. Vince decided that John Cena would become the next face of WWE. He envisioned John Cena becoming the next Stone Cold Steve Austin, the next Dwayne Johnson, and even the next Hulk Hogan. This wasn't a crazy idea because the fans were actually really behind John Cena. They continued to cheer for him and support him. But things started to change quickly with the fan reaction. People were growing sick of John Cena and his mega push. While the young kids and women cheered for him, the older male demographic booed him as loud as they could. This is what led to the "Let's Go Cena, Cena Sucks" chants. Did you know that John Cena was very close to turning heel in 2012? In fact, it was rumored that the company spent $5,000 on new entrance music as well as gear. The creative team were coming up with many different scenarios for this heel turn. However, the plans were thrown out the window once Vince McMahon realized that John Cena had a product line and partnership with Kmart. He did not want to jeopardize that business deal and decided it was best for business to keep John Cena as a good guy. Cena was even upset at this fact since he really wanted to embrace the hate once again. Thankfully, with the power of YouTube, I'm going to go back in time to the year of 2012, and I will be creating an alternate universe to show what could have transpired if John Cena did turn heel. So many things would have been different. Let's see what would have happened if John Cena turned heel in 2012. We will start off this timeline at WrestleMania 28. John Cena is still scheduled to wrestle The Rock in the main event. Dwayne Johnson wins the match, and John Cena sits down on the entrance ramp looking sad that he just lost the biggest match of his career. This is the face of a man who is questioning his core values, a man who doesn't know if what he is doing is right. After this loss, John Cena heads down a path of constant losing. Brock Lesnar makes his return to F5 John Cena and then brutally beats him up at Extreme Rules and wins the match. Yet again, John Cena is laying on his butt wondering what is wrong with his career. After that, John Cena continues to feud with John Laurinaitis and The Big Show and falls short in that feud. You know something is wrong when John Cena is losing to John freaking Laurinaitis. Things do look a little bit better for John Cena since he does become Mr. Money in the Bank. Rather than being the good guy he was in real life and giving CM Punk a 1 week notice to prepare for their match, John Cena will do an unexpected cash-in. This shows that John Cena is becoming more edgy and demonstrates this ruthless aggression side of him that's been missing. John Cena cashes in at Raw 1000 after CM Punk and Daniel Bryan finish their long 25-minute match. He attacks CM Punk with the briefcase and brutally destroys him. Rather than just going for the pin, John makes sure to inflict as much pain as he could to CM Punk. He hits him with 3 attitude adjustments and wins the match. Cena shocks the world and gets booed out of the building. Therefore, CM Punk doesn't turn heel here and remains a babyface. After winning the title, John Cena does not stop. He continues to beat up the former champion, and this is what leads to The Rock coming down to save the day. At first, The Rock tries to talk some sense into John Cena, asking him what in the world is he doing. But The Rock sees John Cena widening his eyes with anger and frustration. And that's when John Cena throws a punch to The Rock, and that's when the two brawl. Eventually, John Cena will poke him in the eye and use that advantage to take him down. This is one of the most disgusting acts of John Cena's career. Literally, the commentators don't even know what to say because they are beyond shocked. The final picture, Raw 1000, is John Cena holding his championship high in the air with an unconscious Rock and CM Punk laying on the ground. It would be such an iconic image. Anyways, John Cena and CM Punk feud for the next 3 months, but John Cena's new heel tactics help him remain as champion. By the end of the year, John Cena begins a new feud with Vince McMahon's newest project, Ryback. At the Royal Rumble, John Cena easily defeats Ryback. Ain't no way Ryback is becoming the WWE Champion right before WrestleMania 29. As for the Royal Rumble match, The Rock wins it. WWE officially announces that The Rock will be facing John Cena for the WWE Championship in a rematch in New Jersey. However, this time, John Cena has a new attitude and has been running through people, just beating all of them in his path. Now, let's jump to the main event of WrestleMania 29. John Cena defeats The Rock in the middle of the ring. After an entire year of having that loss at WrestleMania 28 haunt him, he found his redemption. The fans aren't happy about it, but John Cena doesn't care. He is thrilled. He didn't want this victory for the people. He wanted it for himself. He's actually liking the new John Cena. It's sort of like when Tobey Maguire got the black suit in Spider-Man 3. It makes him stronger and more confident. He likes this version. This is actually the best version of John Cena. Last thing John Cena does is the "You Can't See Me" to The Rock, who is laying there unconscious on the ground. And now, we need to move on from his feud with The Rock and start a new one. Before SummerSlam, John Cena will have very short feuds with Mark Henry and Randy Orton, and will come out victorious in both of those feuds. Daniel Bryan will be the #1 contender for the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. This feud was a really good one in real life, and it would be even better off with John Cena as a bad guy. Triple H will be announced as the special guest referee. At SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan is setting up for the running knee only to be pedigreed by Triple H. John Cena pins Daniel Bryan and forms the Authority with Triple H. For the rest of the year, John Cena and the Authority just screw Daniel Bryan at every single pay-per-view, and John remains as champion. He's actually been champion for quite some time now, but they're making sure to make him fresh throughout this entire run. As a world champion, Cena does not get buried when he cashes in his Money in the Bank. He does get buried when they have this match at TLC because John Cena is victorious, and that is the end of the year. With John Cena as champion, WWE decides to pull the trigger on a John Cena and CM Punk feud for WrestleMania 30. Therefore, CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble match and is now the next one to feud with John Cena and the Authority. If you're wondering what happens with Daniel Bryan, he will be preoccupied with Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. That entire storyline runs through WrestleMania 30. If you're wondering why I didn't go with Daniel Bryan versus John Cena for WrestleMania, it's because Daniel Bryan only got that push after CM Punk left WWE, and they had to completely change all the plans. Since CM Punk is main eventing in this timeline, he doesn't walk away. Anyways, at WrestleMania 30, CM Punk defeats John Cena to become the WWE Champion. A monumental moment for CM Punk, who has been waiting for this forever. And also, the fans have also been waiting for this one-on-one match at WrestleMania. It's an iconic feud that never got that one match. After this loss, John Cena stays away from the world title picture for a while. And around this time, the Shield begin their feud with the Authority. Triple H convinces Batista to join their fight against the Shield. And now, for the next 3 pay-per-views, we have John Cena, Triple H, and Batista taking on the Shield in 3-on-3 matches. The same storyline happens with Seth Rollins stabbing his brothers in the back and joining John Cena and Triple H. This is a dangerous squad. John Cena is currently the top star, Triple H is the mentor, and Seth Rollins is the promising rookie. That is a strong faction. On a side note, it is reported that CM Punk has to relinquish his championship and recover from an injury. The staph infection in his back has gotten to a point where he cannot wrestle anymore and needs to recover for at least half a year. Therefore, at Money in the Bank, the Authority helps John Cena win the championship, while Seth Rollins wins the Money in the Bank briefcase contract. Now, the Authority basically holds all the power. Throughout this year, John Cena remains as champion until Survivor Series. Something really interesting happens there. At Survivor Series, Team WWE versus Team Authority is in place to happen. John Cena is very close to beating Daniel Bryan and pinning him. And that's when you hear Sting's music hit. He makes his debut. Sting helps Daniel Bryan win the match. And what's more interesting is the fact that Seth Rollins comes down to the ring to help his friend. But since he sees a hopeless John Cena laying there, who is the WWE champion at this moment, he decides to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. Triple H is shocked. He is shook. He's like, "What are you doing, Seth Rollins? Calm down." But he tries to stop it, but he can't because the referee already calls for the bell. Seth Rollins pins John Cena and becomes the new WWE champion. Then kick out John Cena out of the faction because he just gets too crazy and just wants to fight all of them. After getting kicked out of the group, John Cena officially becomes a tweener. He becomes the Doctor of Thugonomics yet again and starts using bars to hurt his opponent's feelings. In all seriousness though, him and Rollins have a feud for the WWE Championship from December 2014 through February 2015. John Cena is incapable of winning the championship. All of these events that have transpired recently are going to drastically impact the WrestleMania 31 match card. John Cena will be facing Triple H to get revenge on the mastermind behind all of this. Sting will challenge Undertaker for a streak. Yes, guys, Brock Lesnar does not end the streak in this timeline. Sting already had his match with Triple H at the Royal Rumble and defeated him there. Brock Lesnar wrestles Daniel Bryan because this is a dream match everyone wanted to see. Bryan no longer gets hurt since he avoids the match with Kane at Extreme Rules. CM Punk and Bray Wyatt have a match. We find out that Bray Wyatt is the one who attacked CM Punk in order to write him off TV. And finally, the main event is now The Shield in a triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena. He defeats Triple H. And throughout the rest of this year, John Cena begins feuds with many different wrestlers to help put talent over. This includes Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Neville. As for SummerSlam, he gets involved in a feud with WWE Champion at this time, Roman Reigns. I would consider John Cena versus Roman Reigns a dream match at this moment in time. It's perfect for a SummerSlam feud, and Cena will put over Roman Reigns. Unfortunately, shortly after this match, John Cena suffers a minor injury that would keep him out of action for the rest of the year. But no need to worry, he will be back in action for the next year and will not miss WrestleMania like he did in real life. John Cena's newest challenge for WrestleMania 32 will be going head-to-head with The Undertaker in an attempt to end the streak. There is no way Sting would have done it in the prior year. Vince McMahon would rather die than have a former WCW wrestler be the one to end the streak. John Cena would go on and rap about defeating Undertaker at WrestleMania, and that pretty much sets up the match. Taker is not going to back down from a challenge. He accepts the match, but never shows up on Raw. At WrestleMania 32, John Cena comes down to the ring with his Word Life music waiting for the gong to hit. To everyone's surprise, we hear Dead Man Walking instead. The American Badass makes his epic return. Taker comes down with his motorcycle and everything. This is the ultimate throwback. It literally feels like 2003 all over again. Undertaker defeats John Cena with a last ride, and that wraps up this match. John Cena stays away from TV for about a month. After that ass whooping from The Undertaker, he gets some sense knocked back into him. The Doctor of Thugonomics retires. John Cena is now a good guy again and brings back his original entrance music. So after 4 very entertaining years as a heel and tweener, John Cena is back where he started off. John Cena begins another feud with Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship and actually defeats him this time at Battleground to win his 15th World Championship. It gets drafted to SmackDown, and this is where he and AJ Styles have their entire feud. AJ Styles defeats him at SummerSlam to become the WWE Champion. Those two would feud for a few more months before John Cena disappears and goes to Hollywood for the first time in his career. We are in the last 3 years of this video. The reason why I am putting them together is because John Cena will continue to make that transition to becoming a part-timer and moving to Hollywood, so there wouldn't be much to make about these 3 years. He will still defeat AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble to win his 16th WWE Championship, and then he will be dropping it to Bray Wyatt at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. After that, CM Punk stay with the company. Daniel Bryan never retiring, Sting wrestling The Undertaker, and an epic John Cena run as a bad guy.